And we are backstage right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got about 20 seconds to go, and it'll be showtime for River West Radio. Welcome to Ability MKE Now. My name is Sue Roscoff, and we are here on River West Radio with Ability MKE Now, a show all about integration. We are bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities. And here at Ability MKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own or with people we know or people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at Ability MKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. I am so excited tonight to have a new friend of the show. Actually, getting to be an old friend at this point. I think we've known each other for quite a while on and off here with all the wonderful networking we do through the Happy Neighborhood Project. But before I bring her in, I am going to go ahead and have Miss Denise Vargas join us and say hello. How you doing tonight, Diva?
Hello, Milwaukee, again, all the way from New York. Only here we can do that. I love it.
So just remind everybody again who you are and why we love you so much.
I'm just so lovable. That's what not. I'm Denise Vargas, aka Diva for Denise Vargas, but really because I dream every day, visualize always, and I help others do the same so that they can live creatively, aka the name of my company, and live the lifestyle that they've always dreamt of.
Excellent. And she is an inspiration for all of us and a guidepost for truly what it is to live creatively and think beyond what you already are doing. There's a way to do it. You have an idea, you want to do something, you can do it. You just have to figure out how, right? Take
Yes, you can.
steps. You got to figure out
Absolutely.
those what those are, and
Yep.
anything is possible.
Yep. Get creative, tweak it to work for you.
Excellent. Well, our wonderful guest this evening is somebody that we've gotten to know over, I'm not even sure how long it's been now, through the Happy Neighborhood Project. We have been blessed with so many wonderful connections and friends through what we do with our networking. And currently, Kurt and I are both co-hosts with the Business to Business group, and Patricia is one of the co-hosts with us on that. And it is something that we get to see each other then every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central here. And Patricia, welcome to the show. I wonder if you want to come on in, share a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do. And I am so excited to hear more. Welcome.
Thank you, Sue. I'm delighted to be here. And I'm going to underscore first, if I can, about Denise. I think she and I are sisters under the skin about creativity, to find what you can do, find what you enjoy, and see how you can serve others. So I think that is great fun. I have been blessed to have been retired now from my regular work, shall we say. And I knew I had to do something to keep my fingers busy and keep from asking my husband, what are we going to do today? What are we going to do today? What are we going to do today? It would not be a happy exchange with him. So I decided I would use my talent, and my talent is talking. I have been the communications officer for government and not for profit. I was the official spokesperson, so I gave the official message to elected officials, to the media, to staff, to community members, anybody that needed to hear about our message. I was the one that formed it and shared it. So I am a voice talent. Now I tell stories, other people's stories, over the microphone so they can use it in their social media, in their training, in their corporate narration, in their meeting announcements. Whatever words need to be read out loud, you can call Patricia because her voice works.
Awesome. And which is perfect. Share with us what your website is.
Oh, what a surprise. My website name is Her Voice Works, www.hervoiceworks.com. And really, this grows too out of my opportunity to read at church. I go to the Catholic Church and we use lay people for the first and second reading. We use the deacon or the priest for the gospel reading. And so I've been able to stand up and share the word of God. And oh, what a gift that is. And I do have a lot of people stop me after Mass and say, we can understand when you read, because people get excited and they want to tell the story. But if they say it too fast, people can't listen that fast. So you have to pay attention to your speed and your emphasis. And I've been able to do that and to succeed. And that's why it's so much fun for me to be a voice talent right now.
I love that. It's so funny because I am Puerto Rican and we are known to speak very quickly. So I have had to learn to slow it down so that people can understand what I'm saying a little bit better. So yeah, it definitely does take practice.
It's a conscious effort all the time. People get excited, they just start, and then your friend can't understand and they have to say it again.
Yes.
I actually remember a time back when I was in college and I was part of a group. It was actually like a show choir group, but it was a college class. And I absolutely remember this moment because honestly, it was a very embarrassing moment because we had pieces that we needed to actually narrate as part of this big, long medley of music. And the part that I was given to narrate, I was so nervous. I spoke it so quickly. And the instructor actually he was trying to be funny. He's like, do you think you could do it any faster? And I was so petrified at that time. I thought he was serious. And I tried to speed up and like everybody's laughing at, it's one of those things where, yeah, you got to be able to slow it down and be able to convey and think about what you're saying enough to convey it so people can understand.
Sure, sure. Even in conversation, you don't know what your friend is thinking about when you're trying to talk to them. They could be planning their dinner time, what they have to buy at the store, how they have to cook it, what needs to go in the oven first. And so if you just zip through what you want to say, it's gone. So you have to respect your audience, and especially with scripture, you want people to be able to be paying attention and absorb and learn from it. And communication is all that way. You're trying to share some information. So saying it too fast isn't going to work. Now, video games, I can't go there. I can't handle those. But it is a huge market in the voice actor world to get a job with a video game.
See, I never would have known that. That's really interesting. So, I gotta ask, can you tell us just a little bit more about what is it like to be in the role that you're in? Because I am not familiar at all really with the industry. I mean, we're on the radio right now, and that's all about voice, but this is such a different aspect of that. I wonder if you could just share a little bit more to enlighten us on that.
Absolutely. If a lot of us who are listening tonight may have seen the movie The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yes.
Dorothy and her friends marched and marched and marched and marched. So they got to they used the yellow brick road to get to the Green City. Where did they go? Where were they going? Emerald City. Emerald
Yep.
City. Okay. And so here's this great big booming voice. And you pull back the curtain and there's a nice little man behind there. So I am behind some moving blankets. You know, when you want to protect something from getting bumped? So I have 2 walls of moving blankets and 2 walls of foam, which gives me some dead space because you want to hear just your voice. I don't need to hear the neighbors mowing. I don't need to hear the mail truck coming up or the children playing in the yard. So I have to deaden my space. And a really easy peasy way that people do this is they go into their clothing closet. You've gone into your closet and all of a sudden it's just dead air around you. Oh my gosh. I'm not hearing the TV three doors down. So a lot of people start in their clothing closet. And there are different prices of microphones. So you can start with a less expensive microphone, and then you can see which microphone works best for your voice. And I use a free software called Audacity to do my editing. Now, there's a person, a man or a woman, I do not know. There's a person at River West Radio right now who is recording, and later, before it's stored, will take out some of the hems and haws and that kind of thing. And so I have had to learn that. Now, I knew a lot of things and I got paid for doing my job, but I'm telling you, I never knew how to edit sound until I sat down at this desk and said, I want to be a voice talent.
Excellent.
I
I love
love
it.
Yeah, so I carved out a corner of what a lot of us call the bonus room, the extra room in the house. I carved that out. I bought 2 bookcases that I thought my grown children could use in their garage when I am up there in heaven with my wings. And so I hung those blankets behind the bookcases. So I have my little rectangular space. And you just do a little bit by little bit. You can spend a whole big bunch of money. I have spent not more than $5,000 on my equipment and my original training. Now, I do pay for a subscription service because how are people going to find me? So sure enough, there's industry out there, and the companies send their requests into these subscription companies. Mine is called Voice 123. And so I get an email and they say they want a grown-up woman's voice to talk about schizophrenia. Today I did an audition about schizophrenia because they want the pharmaceutical reps to understand this lady is thriving now because she has the right medicine at the right intervals. And so I'm the nurse talking about Barbara, who's feeling so much better. So the pharmaceutical rep could say, oh, I'm selling the blue pills, I'm selling the pink pills. But this way they put the person together. And so that's going to be part of a training video for pharmaceutical reps. And so I do a variety of things. Last week, I got to record some words that could be, I had not been hired, that could be part of an audio tour of the national parks. And who was I? I was Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh my goodness, how
Yeah.
fun is that?
See that I have been paid to talk like this. But I'd really rather just use this voice and express whatever emotions and details that the scriptwriter has put together.
I
Excellent.
love that. You know, as a person with a disability myself, I've always wanted to be an actress. However, our roles are so limited, often because they'll give a disability type role, like say someone, a wheelchair user, but they'll just put an able-bodied person in the wheelchair and have them play that role. Now, the ability to be able to, like you said, gaming, animated movies. There's so many commercials, right? Like so many things that you can have your acting talent be known throughout the world and really worldwide now that we can do this over Zoom and what have you. So I just love the idea of now really being able to revisit the idea of, you know, voiceover acting. And the
I
fact that you
agree.
gave us some tips. Awesome.
I agree. There is a lot of training available for free to get started. Lots of free training over the internet, YouTube, and just audio, where you can get the basics and see if this is going to be fun for you. And then you can decide to pay for more. But yes, there is much work without any screen time whatsoever. It's all behind the screen. It's your voice and your ability to pretend you are somebody else. There are, millions, I guess, millions is the right number of people who sit at their chair and just play video games because that's fun for them. In fact, I've heard that there is an industry where you pay to watch other people play video games. And I've seen people on TV playing poker and people are paying to watch them play poker. And so that's not my understanding of the world. But again, yes, you're right, Denise. There are ways for persons with mobility issues to be able to use their energy, their excitement, their voice to be actors. I agree.
I love that. And then the other thing also is that as a person with a disability, oftentimes we're limited even with our regular 9 to 5 jobs, which is why I created my own business, so I have that flexibility. Sometimes you might not feel well, or, you might have a doctor's appointment, therapy, whatever have you that goes on, in your life. We all have challenges, but sometimes when you have a disability, your challenges are just, a little bit different, if you will. So having your own business is what really works for me. And what I truly try to encourage people with disabilities and even single mothers to have their own business, to have that flexibility. So knowing all of this, I mean, this is like a whole new, door that you just opened for so many of us.
And I would be happy to answer people's questions. My email is easy. It's patriciam@hervoiceworks.com.
Perfect. Actually, say that one more time.
patriciam@hervoiceworks.com.
Perfect. And I do want to have another friend here that has joined us. A great friend of the show, Alan Holmes, is here in the house as well. And it seems that this is a perfect mix because I know you two know each other. Alan, come on in. What's on your mind? Nope, he's a coming. There we go.
I'm going to find the unmute button. Well, first of all, Miss Patricia, I'm going to call her my voice teacher. She brought me unofficially, because she and I had various different conversations over the past couple of weeks. The first time was at a bus stop. And of course, she remembered that, and she said, let's get back into a quieter place. She had me slow down. That's why I'm talking the way I'm now, because I used to see I did listen. I almost became an actor. People know this. That's why I act the way I act now, because it looks like I'm on the moon. I don't know. I hit something on Zoom, and that's where I'm sitting on top of the moon. Maybe it was the eclipse, but I bring all this up is because I love this conversation. Hello, Denise. That's my sister from all the way from New York. I got you. And Sue, thank you for having me, because when I was actually in high school for about a week, I forgot that I wasn't doing the play. And I had to talk like this, block. I actually have an accent from blocky England. And all of a sudden, I forgot that I was actually supposed to be talking like this. So this is what happens when I'm around Patricia. Thank you for me being part of this world with the AbilityMKE Now, and Diva and Sue and the legendary Patricia. I'm just a student waiting to listen to the rest of the teachers. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this streaming live.
Excellent. Always so happy to have you joining us, Alan. Thank you for being here. So Patricia, another question for you. So with all of the different things you've gotten to do, what's been one of your favorite?
I hope no voice actors are listening. I was found, and I got to do the narration for a man's passion project. He is 76 years old. He learned how to use PowerPoint. He did 133 slides
Woo.
about the Shroud of Turin. He went to Jerusalem. He went to Turin. He read books. He read magazines. He talked to people. He did a whole presentation on the Shroud of Turin. And you can go see it. You can go to YouTube, go to youtube.com and go to A Believer's Perspective, youtube.com/A Believer's Perspective. And this man, Alan Reed, what a star. And I read the script and I said, I want to do this for you. And he said, how much would it be? And I had this number based on standard voiceover work. I had this number and I brought it down. Because I thought, if this gets out and people get to learn and be inspired by this, This is important. But, ooh, I'm paying bills. Oh, ooh. So I charged him and he was happy to do it. And his wife wrote me checks and we had a great time. And now it's launched. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's out there. And then we got together for lunch. I brought him some banana pudding. And his wife said, "Do we owe you any more money?" And I said, "This was so much fun for me. I can't charge you any more money." So yes, I could have charged him more money. And based on what I know about him, it would not have been a problem. But the fact of the matter is, I was so enriched by doing that work that I was happy to get a little and just have it be out there for people to see. And if anybody listening will go to youtube.com/a believer's perspective, I think you will enjoy it. You will be inspired that a 76-year-old retired man, used to be an engineer, would be so interested in a project that he would work. Oh, it's been years. He's been invested in this. And I'm just so proud for him that it's out there being shared. He did a presentation at his Sunday school class this last weekend. And then we've got another videographer, and she's made some Q&As and fill in some more about this question. And it's just bloomed for him. So I'm inspired by that. That's been my biggest job and really a joy to be a participant in that. And I've forgotten the question.
It sounds wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that was a favorite of all the things you've done. So now, somebody who's in voice talent, what is like the pinnacle of what your goals are? Where can you go with this? I mean, what comes to my head is like cartoons that I see on the big screen, because those all have voices, right? But
My
I know
coach,
there's so much more.
well, my coach is named Joe Lesh. The first coach I worked with is Joe Lesh. He's here in Nashville, Tennessee, where I am. And he has been awarded for cartoon voices. And that's all fine. He can do that. My strength is in the corporate read. I trained as a school teacher, and I was the corporate representative for the housing agency, for the American Red Cross in Tennessee, and other not-for-profits focused on just a really calm, cool, collected voice. Now, I have done other work, but that's, I think, what I am best suited to. But close your eyes. You listen to commercials in the car. You're listening to the radio. That's a voice. Your children and a lot of adults play these video games. And a lot of people listen to audiobooks. And I tried really hard for a lady in the neighborhood to read. I enjoyed her book. It was tremendous. I've lost the main character, but it was a historical novel about a woman who grew cotton. And just like Clark Gable in Scarlett O'Hara's story, she got her cotton through the blockade. This was a real person, got her cotton through the blockade. She made money through the Civil War. And it was a great book. It was a great book. But it had Uncle Harry and Aunt Sue and Cousin Lily. And I can't do all those voices. I can't maintain. I'm not a trained actor. I'm not a trained actor. And so, yes, you can do audiobooks. I'm going to look into nonfiction audiobooks. And I listened to a training this week, and somebody said, "Oh, you can't prepare to do a nonfiction book. You can't get into anybody's character." And this teacher said, No. You research the author. You research the subject. Is this a serious subject? Is this a tongue-in-cheek subject? And so you research the author, and that way you can present their message their way. Do you ever call a business and get a voice on the phone with that repeated voice? Press 2, press 1. That's called IVR, when you're the recorded voice to answer the telephone for people. And oh gosh, product presentation, corporate narration, the history of a company. You can speak to that. Cartoons, of course, we've all seen cartoons. Oh, there's a movie out right now. I'll make a current movie. There's a movie called If, and you can see all these big name actors back in their little studio. What you see on the screen are these big animated characters. And so, yes, there's many, many ways to use your voice and get paid to be a voice talent. And I use a company called Voice 123 for my auditions. You can get training through a company called Udemy, Udemy, and many other venues. And just search on the internet, voice over training, and you'll get massive amounts of information and great coaches who give you little things free, get you started, get you a little free stuff, and then they want you to buy a package. You can get a whole lot of little free pieces and then figure out if this is going to be fun for you.
Interesting. I love it. This is the kind of thing that I think a lot of people just never think about, that this is an option. And I love it. So I do want to give a chance here. Alan, Diva, do you guys have any questions, any comments? Just go ahead and unmute if you have anything that you wanted to bring up here as we're going along here, because I know we're getting down near the end. And Alan, go ahead.
Woo! Getting a little emotional. No, I'm kidding you. I love my Patricia because what she does is she's actually bringing back full circle of what I've always wanted to do. Before I leave this world, I want to be a cartoon character. Believe it or not, I want to be the voice of some kind of monster. Let me see. How can I talk like this? I love you. Anyway, that's my audition. No, yeah, Patricia, thank you for being you. Thank you for bringing a little spirit to the world called voiceover talent. There's so many individuals with abilities, disabilities, just all kind of abilities, and that's why I love Ability Now, because it allows everyone, and regardless of where they are in the slice and the piece of the world, to come home and have a voice for the voiceless. And you and your infinite wisdom of having the just the love of speaking for those who have schizophrenia. My wife says schizoaffective, which is a combination of schizophrenia and schizoaffective. So by you educating the mental health awareness month, even though it was last month, it still goes along with this world called just having the voiceless for the voice. And thank you for doing you and putting together such an incredible talent and gift. Love all the way from California. Thank you.
Excellent. I love that. And that's what a great way to put that, to have a voice for those that need the voice to be able to share and to deliver the message. I love that. That's another way to think on what it is here that the voiceover talent is. But truly, that's huge. If you got to be able to deliver the message, and if people aren't receiving it because of whatever the situation is, then it's lost. I love what you're saying, Ellen. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, Diva, I want to pass the baton back your way too.
I just really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much, Patricia, for enlightening us with how many other possibilities there are, and how we can get started, and how people can reach out to you so that they can learn more. And yeah, this has been really fascinating. And one thing that actors, what people don't think about actors, is that they aren't actually in business for themselves. They are contracted, so they don't work in 9 to 5. They don't work for others. So that's something that I appreciate that as well, being an entrepreneur. So thank you once again, and looking forward to keeping, in touch and catching up and learning more.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you so much, Diva. And Patricia, I just want to give you a last moment here, in maybe 30 seconds or so, whatever your last message may be for people.
My last message is to go to Instagram and go to Her Voice Works and get a Thursday tongue twister, just so you can practice before you become a voice actor yourself.
Tongue twisters. I love it that you'd be able to improve your delivery, improve your talent. We all have talents, right? We all have different abilities. We say that at the beginning of every show. We all have different abilities. And sometimes it takes thinking, oh gosh, I was going to say outside the box, but I remember, Alan, aren't you the one there? Or maybe somebody was telling me not that long ago, there is no box, right? You need to actually just think beyond what you've thought of before. And that's where I love the group that comes together here. I can't thank you guys enough for being here. Again, my name is Sue Roskoff, and here for AbilityMKE Now, we thank you.
Thank you.